Hey,
What's up, Jacob?
not much. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I just got back home from work. I've been looking forward to this all day, and yeah, we're here.
Appreciate it. You had a good day at work?
It was pretty slow for the most part. So I work at a movie theater, so it
Okay.
was
Is
was
it
pretty slow. Yeah.
which theater is it?
Regal Cinemas in Christiansburg.
Okay, yeah, all right. It's right beside the Dick Sporting Goods, right?
Yeah.
All right. I might gotta pull up there one time.
I already talked to the Jalen Lane. He said that maybe one day we can see a movie. So maybe if you want to
All
meet
right.
up with him, and maybe
All
we
right,
can go
yeah,
see
no.
something.
We can do that for sure. Me and Jay Lane go to see movies all the time. We've been so he went without me to see Spider-Man. I was mad at him about that. But I went without him to see The Flash. That was my
Mhm.
little payback. Yeah.
I know that they have the B&B theaters in Blacksburg, but have you ever been to the Regal in Christiansburg or?
No, I've only rode past it like going to either Walmart or going to Dick's Sporting Goods to grab some stuff. But I always see it right there though. It's
Mm,
like
I see.
it's in the ducked off spot. I don't do you guys get a lot of traffic in there?
We do, yeah. So today it was pretty busy because we have this kids movie thing that
Okay.
kids movies are like $2 and families and stuff will come in. So it's
Yeah.
pretty busy today, but typically on like the weekends and stuff we'll get a pretty busy day, yeah.
Yeah, there's been good movies dropping like every other weekend.
Mm, mm,
I didn't even I'm a big movie guy, so I went and saw Fast and Furious, but I didn't
mm.
know it dropped like almost a month ago. So
Yeah.
I was like the only person in the theater. I'm just now seeing it. Yeah.
That's the best time to experience a movie is whenever it's been out and you can go and you're the only person in the theater and you don't have
Yeah.
any distractions or anything like
Yeah.
that.
My worst movie experience was when I went to see Avatar 2.
Mhm.
It was back home in Richmond. This guy, I guess he couldn't get a babysitter or anything, but he had his kid literally running around like in each aisle of the theater and making all of this
Mhm.
noise while everybody's trying to enjoy the movie. And then on top of that, in the last 30 minutes of the movie, because that's where like most of the action happened, it like
Mm.
cut off. Like I guess the projector or something went out.
Mm.
And we were just like, we were all sitting there like, what happened? Like, is it gonna
Mm.
cut to the next scene or is it done? We was like, there's no way the movie just ended in the middle of a fight scene. It
Yeah.
didn't even give us
Yeah.
like a cliffhanger or a closure. It just cut off. But yeah, they ended up reimbursing everybody. So I mean, I guess it was cool. Then they
Mm.
dropped it on Disney Plus, so I finished it like 2 weeks ago.
Nice, nice. I
Yeah,
never got around to seeing it. It was just too long for me. Like 3 hours in the
it's
movie
like
theater. I
yeah,
couldn't
like three and
imagine.
a half hours. You gotta have like a
Yeah.
good 6 hour time span where you can like get yourself together, watch the movie, and still like not have
Mm.
anything to do after. Yeah.
I understand that. Well, I have a few questions that I wrote down. The first one is I would say, what is your favorite thing about Blacksburg, or even if you want to go to into why you came here? We all know you have a great relationship with Coach Mines, stemming back from ODU, but do you have any like big reasons as to why you came here, or like why was Virginia Tech the place for you?
I'm gonna start off with my favorite thing about Blacksburg.
Hmm.
I want to say like being a small town.
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of pretty much everybody knows everyone here.
Hmm. For sure.
And the people here are like very like nice. I want to say like everywhere
Hmm.
you go, somebody's saying hello, how's your day, or you don't really like you don't really get too much of negative vibes out here.
Hmm.
That's the place I wanted to be, like somewhere where I can always get a smile from someone or feel like welcome. But then the reason I chose Virginia Tech, it's just I was always a fan growing up.
Hmm.
Um, I used to always come to the games. I had a lot of guys from like a lot of older guys that used to look up to when I was younger that were from Richmond area that all went to Virginia Tech and had great careers. I mean, a little bit of time. And yeah, so I always wanted to be a part of that. And when I didn't get the opportunity to do that, because the
Hmm.
previous staff didn't believe I could do it here, it kind of hurt
Hmm.
me a little bit. But I mean, it is what it is. I got a second chance to do it, and I believe in these coaches. And I like I said, I had a great like you said, I had a great relationship with Coach Mines, and that just was another factor on top of it, which I knew like I could trust him, and he would bring the best out of me.
Hmm.
So that was like the biggest thing. I didn't want to go somewhere where like I just be like a filler guy to just fill in a spot for their roster or like help them say they got brought in a good recruitment class and stuff like that. I wanted to go
Hmm.
somewhere where guys are going to help me get better and help me just reach my dreams, which is being a 10-win top 25 team, which I haven't done yet, and helping me get to the next level. And I would think we're going to do it. Hopefully we can do enough to win the ACC championship this year.
That
Um,
that would be a great accomplishment from last season to
yeah,
go up,
definitely
from
going from a 3-win team to a
the
10 plus
ACC
win team,
championship. Yeah.
going to the ACC championship is crazy. Like I had a dream about it last night. That's how much I want it. So yeah, I'm
So
can't wait.
another question I have, and this one I think is going to be a really fun one. What is your favorite or least favorite, or even both, game that you've played in your college career so far? You've played in a
Ah,
lot of them. I know you went to West Virginia, and then you went to
yeah,
Old Dominion, and now you're here.
I have a few. So I'll take you back to my freshman year. I'll take it back. I'll give you each year. My freshman year, my favorite two games, of course, NC State is which my the first time I played as a freshman and I scored my first touchdown. That atmosphere was crazy. Then my first start as a freshman. Oh, I'm sorry, man. My
No,
internet
you were good.
went out for a second. Did you?
You're
What was
good.
the last thing you heard?
So I think the last thing was you were starting to talk about the first time that you were able to start as a freshman, and then it cut out from
Okay.
there.
Yeah. So yeah, first game starting as a freshman, we were playing against Oklahoma. They were like a top 5 team at the time. And this is when they had like Jalen Hurts, CeeDee Lamb. I think the running back name was like Kenny Brooks or something like that. They were all like top players in the country at the time.
Hmm.
And just being on the same field as them. And I just turned 18 at the time. So I was like, yeah, my heart was beating out of my chest. I was
Hmm.
nervous. I didn't want to mess up. Ended up having a decent game. I made a few plays. One of my favorite plays in my career, I had a one-hand helmet catch that they called back. They called OPI on me.
Uh,
But the dude, he was grabbing my arm,
hmm.
and it from behind, it looked like I was extending the push off, but he was just
uh,
holding my arm. So they called OPI on me. But I mean, that
Dang.
was. And then the next year, my sophomore year, I would say Kansas State. I scored a touchdown off of coming off of like a soft a lot of time that year.
Hmm.
And then what else? Next year when I transferred to ODU, it has to be the UNC Charlotte game. I had like 9 catches, 250
Hmm.
yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Ooh,
Yeah, and that was the game to send us to get us bowl eligible.
nice, nice.
Yeah, and then my last year that I played, it was between Virginia Tech, and not just because we won, just the atmosphere was insane. That was the most packed I've seen ODU Stadium
Hmm.
since I've been there. and the way like everybody stormed the field. It was the build up into it. It was just a lot just to make that moment like the most for me. And then I would say ECU, that was another 200-yard game for me with 3 touchdowns.
I
And
remember
then
that one. I remember watching that one.
yeah,
That was a fun game.
yeah. And then also when we upset Coastal Carolina, they were undefeated at the time, and we beat them like 40-6. I didn't have the most appealing game stat wise, but we had our running back ran for like 250. I had like 80 yards receiving. We had like 2 or 3 receivers score a touchdown. That was like the most complete game we've had since I've been there. Like we were just good, like on all
Mhm,
phases of the ball, and it wasn't just like one guy just going crazy just to try and keep us in the game. So
mhm.
I would say that was probably like my favorite game.
Is there a game that you're looking forward most to besides Old Dominion? I feel like that's a cop out answer. It's an easy answer.
Yeah,
You get your old team, and
it's 2 games. So the game that I'm going to get to after after one to beat ODU would be Marshall.
Mhm,
We were supposed to beat them the last 2 years, especially when Grant was there. He threw the Hail Mary to beat us.
mhm,
Um, so they snuck by that year, and then I feel as if I didn't get hurt, we would have beat them last year.
mhm,
Because they only beat us by like 4 points, and we only kicked 4 field goals to stay in the game. So they didn't do much
mhm.
on offense. I feel like if I could have played a factor in that game, which I couldn't because I was hurt, we
Yeah.
would have won. So I'm 0-2 versus them. Hopefully, I can finish my career 1-2, winning on top as my last game versus them. And then of course Florida State, one of my close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know Winston Wright. He goes by Jet. He was at West Virginia. Like,
Um.
so me and him came in together as the only 2 receivers in our class, and he's at Florida State now. He's starts slot for them.
Mhm.
So we go play them. We're gonna talk our trash. It's gonna be fun. They're gonna be a top 10 team in the country. We're gonna go in and try to upset them. I can't wait for him. And my uncle, he is a huge Florida State fan. So he's saying he's gonna support me. He hopes I do my thing, but he said he still want his team to win. It's crazy that your uncle say that to you, but I mean, it is what it is. We can try and go out there and upset them, and then
Mhm.
hopefully it'll be a night game.
I
Uh,
think it is. I think it is a night game, or
yeah,
I don't know if the
it's,
time's been
it,
announced yet,
it
but I would
is
assume
going
it
to
would be.
depend on how we do our first couple of games, which I think we're going to do pretty well in them. But
Mhm.
if we can get that night game, and we can, it's just it gives me chills thinking about it. I can't wait for it. Be on prime time TV. It's gonna be fun.
Mhm. Whenever you were talking about how all the players have been around, it's kind of crazy to me how much like the NIL and all that stuff has created such continuity around. Like you played against us, and then you also played against Grant whenever he was at Marshall, and it's just
Mhm.
it seems like all one big circle that it just keeps coming back, and there's one school around it, and it's Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. Everybody's moving pieces now, especially since
Mm-hmm.
like everybody got the everybody got the one free transfer rule.
Mm-hmm.
Grad transfers can transfer as many times as they want. NIL is playing a big factor in which schools guys go to. It's just a lot going on, and everybody's moving in different directions. And it's crazy how like Virginia Tech came full circle. Like once I went to school, I would have never thought I was coming here. They were dead to me, but I mean, it worked out at the end of the day. I'm happy, and I'm getting a lot of support. So I'm enjoying the move. I think I made the right decision.
I think you did too. I mean, you could have went anywhere. You had a great season last year. You had great
Mhm.
stats. I mean, I feel like any school would have offered you a scholarship, but I think to come here, it's going to be a really special year, and I hope that you guys and all the new transfers can gel together easily. It sounds like you guys have been, and especially the wide receiver. I feel like you and Daquan Felton and
Yeah,
Jalen Lane are going to be special this year.
yeah.
And then we got all the freshman wide receivers coming in, and
Mhm.
last year, the room wasn't that great, but I'm glad to see that it's looking up. And then we got Kyron Drones in the transfer portal, so this team looks
Mhm.
completely different from last year, and I think that's going to be a great thing. And I can't wait to see what you guys do this season, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. I think somebody else just tuned in. Appreciate you for tuning in, meeting me, having a good conversation.
And I appreciate for doing this.
No problem.
And